Are y'all ready to get this started?
Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Sit your ass down and get ready for the next episode of the Urban Green Room. The Urban Green Room. With your hosts, my girl AA and that dude D. Lewis.
Hey everyone, it's your girl AA.
What's up, world? It's your man D. Lewis.
And welcome to another episode of the Urban Green Room podcast. Yes. And today I have two of my girls with me. Serious topic for us because we've been in COVID. I know I've been smacking. And now it's time to get this weight off. So we are talking about weight loss and the struggles that we as individuals sometimes face. We're going to get to the nitty gritty on what we're doing that's working, encourage each other, and hopefully inspire some other people to get active because nobody wants to carry on COVID weight. So we're going to get it together. So yes. So
COVID weight?
Yeah, COVID weight. COVID weight. Ain't no baby pounds. Like I'm pretty sure there'll be a baby boom come winter.
Yeah.
So right now we're talking about the COVID pounds.
Yes.
Yes. So in the house with us tonight, I'm gonna start with my girl Nevi. Like if you don't know who Nevi is, you are missing out because I got introduced to her through other means, through the author networking. But the more I like watch Nevi, she is truly a social media influencer. Not only does she have her podcast, official Call Me Nevi, but she is cooking, she is exercising, and she is inspiring other people to be their authentic selves. And I love that about her. So she had to join me for this conversation today. So Nevi, welcome to the Green Room podcast.
Oh, thank you. Thank you guys for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Welcome. And then, okay, so I'm a fan of this author for a whole nother reason. And I had showed D a couple of her exercise pictures. And I was like, not only is she a brilliant writer, but then I was like, ooh, I don't have upper body strength like Jay Asmora does. I was like,
shit, I don't either.
I was like, my girl be getting it in. So first of all, not only is Jay writing erotica, mystery, urban fiction, she does children literature. She's the CEO of Elite Professionals Publishing. And I think she is an exercise guru in disguise, according to the pictures and posts I see. So I was like, I want to talk to her.
She exercise something.
Yeah, I think I want to talk to her.
That much I know.
Because I gotta learn. I gotta learn how to do that one move she did. And so I'm excited because I want to know, how did this sister get to that point where she's like developed an excellent exercise routine that seems to be working for her. So welcome my friend Jay Asmora to the show. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
Hey, Jay.
You got me blushing over here.
Girl. I watched
girl,
you.
Bump that table one more time.
I watched your picture post of you exercising and was like, D, I'm never gonna be able to do that.
Never say never.
You can't say that.
You got it.
You got to be like, I can do this. Or at least try to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to hurt myself. And I'm going to tell...
I ain't doing that shit. I'm not going to try it. I'm not. No.
Wait,
fellas, listen. Don't be ashamed out there. If you see this video, if you see her working out and you feel some kind of way about yourself, don't. Because she doing all kind of crazy shit that normal people don't do in the gym. So I'm not gonna try that. I'm old. Shit.
Oh man.
I am not trying it.
So let's get into the conversation.
I want to see this video though. I want to see this video.
if Jay say I can post it, I will put it in the comments so that you can see it.
Are you talking about the picture where I was doing the leg up? Because I got a lot of
picture.
Yes.
The picture with the leg up. I've seen the video, but the picture with the leg up, it was, Dee was like, is she supposed to be moving? Because she holding still for a long time. And I bust out laughing. I was like, Dee, it's just a picture. It's not a video.
Put that out there.
It's not a video.
You really didn't have to put that out there.
He was like, she's been sitting here for like 5 minutes. I was like, it's a picture.
Oh, that's funny.
Now, there you go exaggerating this shit again. Like, anywho,
so
welcome, ladies, to the Urban Green Room.
Thank you.
This is pretty much this is how we get down.
Yes.
So
that's what's up. That's what's up.
This is what started the whole conversation. I had mentioned a couple episodes prior that I couldn't fit into my last year's summer clothes. And when I went to the doctor said, hey, like, looked at the scale, which is something I never do. And I was 15 pounds over from where I was last year. And I thought to myself, okay, you got to get out, got to get moving. And normally I'm a gym rat, so I stay in the gym. Mm-hmm. But COVID hit and I ain't seen the gym in 4 months. And now I'm like back to getting active. And so now instead of like flopping on the bed to kind of button my shorts are pulling on and I can like snap, zip, and I can get in it. But I wanted to know from you ladies, like, what inspired your weight loss? What are your weight loss goals, or do you have any?
Okay, who want to go first? We can go. Who can go first?
Yeah, whoever want to go.
You go first. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So what inspired my weight loss journey was I was dying. I was in congestive heart failure and
oh shit,
and pulmonary hypertension, which I still have pulmonary hypertension. It's a lung condition. It's like how I describe it is like high blood pressure for the lungs type of situation. So if it goes into like the unstable range, I could like get blood clots in my lungs and like I could die pretty much. And so the only thing that keeps it in the stable range is weight loss and being active and stuff like that. But it could get to a point where God thank God is fine now, but it can get to a point where no matter how much weight I lose, it just is going to be inevitable type of situation. So when they told me like you're literally dying, I was like, I started to give up really. And then I was like, one day it was like in February 2016, I woke up and I thought to myself, well, if I never woke up, would I be okay? I didn't necessarily want to kill myself, but I was like, I ain't really got to be awake. And then I thought to myself, that's horrible. That's hard. I need to make some type of change. So I didn't want to be sick anymore. I just didn't want to be sick anymore. I had lost everything I owned being sick, and I wanted to be better. So I found out the steps I had to do to be better. Now I started with therapy because I wanted this to be a long-term situation for myself.
Right.
Because you can exercise and you can eat right, but if you don't feel good about yourself, it's never going to be enough. And you're going to swap one addiction for another or one issue for another. And I didn't want to do that. And that's so true. I was like, and I'm still in therapy. I still have a therapist that I see. So I started off with that first. And then when I got to where I could actually start moving around, well, then I worked on my diet because I couldn't really move at that point. I was walking on a walker. I was on oxygen 24 hours a day. I was 32 years old at the time. I'm 37 now. And my highest weight, I was 489. I'm 307 now. So it was like, okay, you know, I'm going to be 306, excuse me. But I was like, you know, I'm 32 years old. I shouldn't be walking on a walker. Like I shouldn't have to have somebody help bathe me and dress me. And I went from being independent to being dependent on someone. I couldn't live my life like that no more. So I had to do something, and I couldn't really move around. So I started with drinking more water and the food intake. And the reason why I thought about that was I'm like, well, they got people who are bedbound and they lose weight. So how are they moving around? They're not, but they losing weight. So it got to be what they putting in their body. So I was like, okay, I can do that.
So Jay, what about you? How did you start your?
Wow, how do I follow that?
Yeah, hold on. Just can we can we just let that sit for a few minutes? Like,
Yeah.
I think her story and her journey is fantastic. I mean, that's scary because for someone like me that, you know, we'll get to me in a little bit as far as my journey with weight and all that. It's my mind never goes there. Like it can be, you know, that serious for people, like life threatening. Like my mind doesn't necessarily go there. Yeah, I know it can happen. But I've never really talked to anybody who's, you know, their weight has been life or death for them. So I just wanted to just take a second and let that sit for our viewers and listeners as well, because that's an incredible story. Yeah, I mean that's an incredible story. It's heavy, and yeah, okay, and that's gonna be tough to follow,
right? Because when I start telling you my selfish reasons for wanting to lose weight,
right, but. And that's another reason, actually, I mentioned this to AA when we said we're going to do this episode. One of the reasons why we wanted to, I made a statement. We were out running, walking one day, and she said, yeah, I want to do this. And I was like, yeah, because y'all weird as far as women, because every one of you are different. So it's like you can have 5 women, different women, that's the same weight. But they all look different and they all carry it differently. So, you know, so when Nevi tells her story, you know, and you tell yours, it's perfectly fine, because as people, I understand how different we are, the way we carry our weight, especially women. I think men are probably a little more cookie cutter for the most part. But yeah, so women are definitely different. But let's get into your story, Jay, and we'll wait for Nevi to come on back in and join us.
All right. Well, like I said, that's kind of a hard one to follow. But my reason was a little bit more selfish, I guess, a little more self-centered. During the time, I went through a really bad breakup with my son's father. I have a 1-year-old. So I had the baby weight. And so I was like, okay, first off, I don't want to carry the baby weight anymore. I'm a soldier. I just got back in the end of May from a deployment. So I was like, this is the perfect time. I'm going to be away from home. I'm not going to have the responsibilities of mom. They have the gyms all over the base. So I'm going to do it. She's coming back. I made a goal. You know, I was like, okay, I'm going to be away from my children for 9 months. I can't go back home the same way. And like I said, I had a really bad breakup. So I wanted to make sure mentally I was good with that. And then, you know, like I said, the selfish females, how we are, I was like, okay, let me get fined so that he can see how stupid he is. You know, I'm just going to call it what it is. So that was a little bit of motivation, because it's like, okay, I just had this kid. I'm emotional because of that. I'm emotional because of the breakup. So now I have to find me. And one of the things that Nevi said that's very important before you start any journey is you have to be honest with yourself. I had to have a real serious, all right, you got it. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it type mentality. And I was blessed. I had a group of women. It was 5 of us, and we worked out 5 o'clock every morning. So I wasn't by myself. And I think that's important, because if you have that support system, I'm the type of person, I don't like to let people down. So if I know that you're expecting me to go to the gym, I'm not going to sleep in, because I feel like, okay, no, I can't have them waiting on me. So that was my motivation. And so I got down to the smallest that I've been in a long time, being over there between the heat, because it got to 130 degrees, but that's a whole nother thing in Kuwait. But I got down to 154 pounds. But then I got the fear of coming home. I'm coming back home. I am a mom again. I'm this. And I started gaining the weight back. And so that's why I started going so hard recently, because I'm like, no, I worked too hard to gain it back. And AA, you said that you can't do it. I'm telling you, even though I'm a soldier, people are like, oh, you're a soldier, you're in shape. Nah, we don't do the fitness the way that we should. We don't do PT every day. So yes, I was doing enough, but that was it. Enough to meet the requirements, but I wasn't physically fit. In my mind. Like now, I'm so much stronger. I've never been this strong. And it gets hard because I wake up now, I go to the gym now at 5. And the past 2 days, I've been struggling. That's why I have to keep posting these pictures because it makes me feel good because there's people who watching and you don't realize that because people are like, oh my gosh, I get inbox messages. But like, you getting it. I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, thank you, but like I said, I'm doing it for myself because like we're getting older. I just turned 40. I had my 40th birthday.
Welcome
while I was
to the club.
Thank you. And so as a female, that gets me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm 40. It's hard to lose weight. I can't stop. And I love to eat. So I have to work out or I'm going to be big. And I don't want to be big because again, I still have these selfish reasons because I still have this baby daddy that I want to be like, oh, I messed up and I'm stupid. And I want to be like, yes, you are. And then walk off. So I can't stop. And it's stuff like that fuels me because, it's hard. It's really hard. And once you see results, I'm kind of like I get adrenaline junkie, I guess that's what they say. Cause it's like, okay, all right. If this happened by doing 5, okay, let me pick it up. Let me see what happens when I do 10. And so that's kind of what motivates me because I'm like, I want to do it. I want to. And especially when I see like people like Angela Bassett, she's my girl crush. She's 60 years old. And she's fine. She's fine. She's fine. And so I'm like, bad. I can't be fine at 60. So that's my goal. I'm working now so that when I get to her age, I can be the next Angela Bassett.
Okay. Awesome.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey,
I came back right on time.
Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, my
and thank
phone
you.
just was like, okay, I'm done.
That's cool. I figured you'd be back, but I wanted to thank you for sure for sharing that story with us. That was deep. I think we all appreciated that.
Yes.
And thank you for sharing that with us and opening up like that. Mm-hmm. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure before we keep it moving that, shout out to you. Shout out to Neve, y'all.
Yes.
Yes.
All of that. My weight loss story is not as severe as yours, Neve, but I think after the birth of my last son, so 21 years ago, I think literally when I had him, he took everything I had. He took my whole immune system because it seemed like right after that, my body started to deteriorate. It was one health issue after another. And I felt defeated. Like every time I would try to lose weight, something else would happen. And it wound up being like one surgery after another. And as soon as my body healed, I got hit with something else. So I kind of felt defeated. I think at my heaviest, and I'm going to share this because we're going to be honest. Prior to him, my very heaviest, I was 347 pounds. And I'll never forget that because I never felt like I was 347 pounds. I always felt confident.
I know how you
feel. I always carried myself as being confident.
I know what you're talking about.
So anytime I would go to the doctor, I would never look at the scale. Like we had an unwritten rule. They would never say it out loud. I would never look. I just hop on, close my eyes, and that would be it. So fast forward, because I had lost weight and then gained it with all these health issues. So I go to the doctor one time. And again, I was I weighed confident, like size confident, weighed confident, got on. It was a new nurse and she told me how much I weighed. And at that time, it was 287 pounds. And I cried. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I do not want to weigh this much. Because at that point, my confidence was shot. Because I never had a number. It was just how I felt. I felt somewhat healthy despite the health issues. But it wasn't like I had a number. And once she put a number to it, I took a close look at myself. Yeah, it made it real.
Yeah.
And I was like, And the one thing that and D never knew my weight. He never said anything about it. But after I cried and I went home and I just looked at him like, he's never going to say anything about my weight. Like how loving of him, but also how selfish of him not to say it to me is how I felt. So I became motivated and I was the queen of give me a 3-month gym membership because that's all I need is 3 months. And after 90 days, I was out. I was like, I'm not going back to the gym anymore. I lived up to my commitment to myself. But the last time I did a gym membership, it was cheaper to do 2 years. So I wound up signing up for 2 years because they didn't have a 3-month. And they didn't even have a 6-month trial, which I was really upset about. So I signed up and I became a gym rat. And I literally said to myself, well, what time will you go? Because you don't have time to do anything between the 9 to 5, you being mom, wife, author now. When are you going to do this? And I jokingly said, I'll go at 4:00 in the morning. So then I had to change my routine to get to the gym at 4:00 in the morning. So I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it for me, not for anybody else. But I just wanted my confidence back. I wanted to walk and not jiggle. I could wiggle a little bit, but I didn't want to jiggle. I just wanted my confidence number back. So that was my motivation. Because I think once that nurse said that number, and I literally cussed her out. I said, we're not supposed to talk about numbers. And she got scared. I'm crying. The doctor's like, what's wrong? Nurse. I'm like, she told me my weight.
She was doing her job.
Yeah, she was doing her job.
Pretty much.
But she broke my heart and my confidence. And at that moment, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
But you needed that.
Yeah, I needed that kick in the butt. And I am right now 176.
Woo!
So
yes,
I know.
Wow.
And had some setbacks, but I'll get back on track.
That's amazing.
But yeah, I was hoping to be at this point 10 pounds lighter, but it's okay because I got my confidence back. So I went back to it's not so much a number for me anymore, but that feeling I get with, how I feel about myself. So that was my motivation for losing weight.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, congratulations.
And then thank you. Then we get D over here.
Now, wait. First off, yeah, and I know this is probably a topic for another podcast, but how the hell is you gonna get mad that I don't say nothing? But if I had said something,
it would have been
a bigger problem.
I'm not gonna lie. It would have been a problem.
But I just want to see what I deal with, world. I just wanted to put that out there.
Right.
So,
that was a situation you wasn't gonna win, my friend.
He wasn't gonna win.
By default, it was just what it is. But you know what? Your silence helped motivate her to get where she want to be. So in a way, you helped her out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm just
take that. So I'm the unicorn of the group, of course. I'm actually the reverse. I could never gain weight. Doesn't matter how much, historically that I ate. It just didn't matter. I
need your
could not put on.
Pass them to me. Thank you.
Yeah, so it was the metabolism.
Share it to me.
But a lot of it, I think too was mental. I wasn't like, so when I'm the type of person that when things aren't going right and I get stressed or I get worried or anxious, I don't eat. So I'm not a stress eater. I'm the opposite. I will not eat. Like I'll eat just enough to survive. So then I go through these periods where I lose 10, 15 pounds and I put it back on and I lose 10, 15 pounds. And a lot of it too is the fact that I'm lazy as fuck. I'm lazy. Like, cause I know muscle weighs more than fat, but I've never been a workout dude. I'm just ain't doing it. Like, no.
Not since he stopped playing sports.
Yeah. And that was what, 13 years ago?
So what would you like to magically happen here? Because you don't want to you don't want to do no work, you know what I'm saying? And you can't, no matter how much you eat, it's not working. So what would you like to magically happen? Because that's what you expecting here. It's
starting to work a little bit. So
his metabolism is changing. He's
heard about COVID laying on the bed, but we ain't gonna talk about it.
With the jeans. So it's starting because we done put the little boy jeans away. Like, I'm like, oh, he can't fit them no more.
Jay, I can't stand you. Oh my God, I can't believe you just did that shit.
I was crying laughing when I was listening to it. I was like, yo, it was funny. I'm sorry. I had to.
Listen, the roles have reversed. I was like, he can't fit in his jeans. And I wanted to. I was waiting. I was like, he gonna fly. He done seen me enough. He saw me do it. I know he know what to do.
Do I have to clear this up again?
You should have been petty. You should have been petty and played Beyonce part in Meg's little remix.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So anyway, ladies. No, that was a good tangent. Thanks, Jay. Whatever. Yeah, so, but I think in the last, since March, pretty much, since the beginning of quarantine and everything, I've been eating a whole lot more. Like a whole lot more. Like I kind of scare myself because I ask her all the time, am I eating too much? Because I'm not used to eating all this food that I'm eating. Like I go back for thirds. Now I've never gone back like for thirds. So
are you bored?
And now I look like I'm like 4 months pregnant, 4.5 months. And I feel the baby kicking sometimes. At night, when I get hungry, the baby start kicking. So, but with that being said, I don't just want to get crazy either. Just, what I mean? I don't want it to go crazy. So I do, go out with AA and we go running, walking, and we do that. We try to do it faithfully every day. At one point during quarantine, we were doing it like 2 times a day because it's like, shit, we got to do something just to get out the house. Yeah. So I think that's been kind of helping me not get too crazy on the health side. Because I still got to watch my blood pressure. I still got to watch cholesterol, all that stuff that typically affects our culture. And I've never been a healthy eater. I don't, like, you say something is a healthy meal and it's like kryptonite. I'm running.
Maybe he is never going to eat anything that you cook right now if it's not dripping in some kind of oil. And so that brings me to this question.
Okay.
This brings me to this question. Okay. What have any of you tried any kind of weight loss programs or and did they work? Any of like the food weight loss programs that are out there? No.
The worst.
No and no, or
no, I never did that. Cause first of all, I didn't have the money for that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't, it was expensive. That stuff is expensive.
Yeah, it is.
You like a week of food is like damn near $200. Like I'm one person. You know, like I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I can go and cook this food and be way cheaper. What we doing? Because I'm not gonna do that. So I'm good. No. And then like I was like, so I'll have to go to this place. Well, you know what? I'm like, I tried taking. It was this not weight trim. It was something. It was this place. I only went like one time. It was some bullshit ass doctor. He talked to me like 10 minutes. He wrote me a prescription for some weight loss pills. And I'm like, that's all we're going to do. He was like, yeah, come back in a week. And when you come back in a week, you got to pay another fee. And then we're going to hook you up with, after when he said pay another fee, I said, fuck that. I'm not about to do this. He lost me at pay another fee. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought I paid this $100-something. I was going to get some consultation, some counseling. You know, it's going to include something. Fuck that. I was like, I'm good. Nope. So I never went back. And I didn't finish taking the supplements either because when I started taking the supplements, I lost like 11 pounds in like 3 days, which was crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But the thing about it,
cold. I need this.
You don't want it. Because it had my breath off. Look, it had my breath all funky. It was just like, it was coming out of my skin. Like the stuff was, it got to come out your body.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it just had me smelling all crazy. I was sweating. Like, I was like, this shit is for the birds.
No.
I don't want
You still want some, Jay?
No, I'm good.
You still?
Yeah.
Because you'll be fine as hell, but...
It was
you still ain't gonna have no man.
And I can't remember the chain, but it was actually a chain weight loss place. It's called, I can't remember, it's gonna come to me. But you go to the place and it was like a real brick and mortar. You went into the building and it was like a chain of them. And I just can't remember. It's not Act, it's Trim something. It's gonna come to me and I remember, but I can't remember right now. But it was crazy. But yeah, they lost me. I'm cheap, y'all. Let's say I'm frugal. Let's say that. Okay. And he lost me at another fee. And I was like,
listen, you like, I paid one fee. How much more I got to pay?
In a week, not even 7 days, a business week, 5 days. I had to come back because the weekends didn't count. Oh, hell no. Hell no.
So was it the same amount fee? Like,
no, it was more because when you came back, then they're going to give you the meal plan and then you got to talk to somebody else. So you had to pay for the food and then you still had to pay for the talk to somebody else. I said, well, shit, what the hell you talk to me for? What I paid this $100 for?
Why couldn't I just talk to that motherfucker the first time?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, ew.
Oh, hell no. No, we ain't doing that shit.
And at the time I had just graduated undergrad. So I'm a recently graduate. Well, that was back in 2010, so this was a long time ago. But I'm like,
congratulations anyway.
Yes.
Oh yeah, thank you. I got a master's degree, yeah.
Shit, you go, girl.
Yeah, I've been. That was 10 years ago. But I was like, I just graduated. I'm trying, you're trying to get a new lease on life, and I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna try this program, whatever. I scrapped up that $100-something to get there in the first fucking place. Okay, barely had gas. All right, to get to the place. I'm driving this old beat up car. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm struggling. And I'm saying, let me try to change my life around. You know what I'm talking about? And they're going to try to nickel and dime me. Fuck that. I say, I'm good. I'll stay fat. I'm all right.
You still salty about that shit. She's still salty.
Bad memories. Bad dieting memories now.
You know what? The Lord has made it so I don't remember their name. Because, see, I'll be bad mouthing them. If I remember, see, he made it. See, the Lord still blessing these people because I was pissed. Because that's not what they do.
Somebody out there got them pills and walking around smelling but looking good.
Right. I was like, what's going on? Like, this ain't what's up. This wasn't what's up. I said, hell no. Okay, let's move on.
That is hilarious. Let's move on. For she gonna fuck around. She already in the car. She might try to drive over there. Let's move on.
Jay, what about you?
No, I've never tried any of those, and I'm the worst when it comes to eating. Like, I like all the good stuff. I'm from South Carolina, so I like food.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? I've just got to the point where I'm a little open, but I'm still not. Don't bring me no Brussels sprouts, no asparagus. I don't want none of that. But I do like baked foods, grilled food, like my meat, and I do watch my portions, but I don't do anything crazy because I've learned that when you start doing that and you start depriving your body, what you end up doing is you start binging because you're like, man, I ate a steak in 6 months. Now I'm about to eat 3 of them, you know, and then you done fell off. So I purposely don't do that. Like I change a little bit like now. So July is my month. Like I want to pick up my workouts, my eating and everything. So what I've been doing is this month, all I'm eating is chicken and tuna, meat wise. And I'm adding a lot of vegetables. I do my smoothies in the morning. So I'm not depriving myself, and I'm a snacker. So I have like my fruits to be my snacks, but to go by like anything that requires me to do a meal plan and stick to it, I already lost. I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm with you with that meal plan. I ain't about to do that. But I like Brussels sprouts though. I like Brussels sprouts. I like asparagus. I like all kind of vegetables.
I don't like
them.
So
do I.
Hell no.
Okay, D, all right. I'm about to say
no, we ain't doing that. Now listen,
I mean,
in order to get me to eat that shit,
you gotta have some
she'll
butter.
cook Brussels sprouts. But it's mad butter on it, it's bacon on it. Ooh. Shit, I might sprinkle some cheese on it. Yeah, that bacon shit with the Brussels sprouts is pretty good. Yeah.
I will shred
and
shred the Brussels sprouts and saute it in bacon fat. And then crumble bacon on top of it for them.
Yeah.
Where y'all at?
That's good.
Well, see, I'm a Southerner. By heart. My grandmother's from North Carolina, so we live up in. I'm originally from New York. We live in Michigan, but I can cook all your Southern favorites.
And
I need to see how far y'all are.
I got y'all beat because I'm in Louisiana. Ain't no more Southern than that. Okay,
hey.
No.
Yeah, she really in the dirty.
Yeah, like ain't no more Southern than that. And I know all about that bacon fat, baby. Let me tell you.
Y'all talking about history. I'm trying to bring it into the present. I'm trying to see how far y'all at, so I can go ahead and get this Brussels sprouts with some bacon.
Oh, but guess what? I'm gonna be. Guess what? But guess what? I'm gonna
when
be.
When we come down, that'll be something I cook.
For sure.
I'm gonna be in Michigan next week.
Iowa. I'm not that far from you.
You're gonna be in Michigan next week. Where at?
Detroit.
Oh. Okay, you're like 2 hours.
2 hours from.
2 hours from us.
I'll be there next week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let y'all know when I come in.
Yeah.
So I think our eating habits are the same, Jay. Because I don't, like I say, I don't do the healthy shit. Like you'll have to try to make me eat salads and shit. I don't want to do that.
Salad.
I love a salad
today.
Shit, yeah. I go somewhere. I'm hungry.
It ain't no point. It ain't no point.
It's whatever you want to put in it. It's whatever you want to put in it. Just think of a sandwich, just no bread. It's literally everything you would put on the sandwich, just no bread.
But look at his face, though. He like just eat the sandwich.
He's like, I ain't hearing that shit.
That don't make no fucking sense
just eat
to me.
The sandwich.
I'm just saying. It's
a sandwich with no bread.
You can eat the sandwich. It's fine. What I'm saying is just have a different perspective. That's all I'm offering. A different perspective. Okay. I love me a salad. Win. Yeah, I know. I know. I can tell you. But I love me a salad.
So I have gluten issues.
All kinds of stuff in it.
I found out that I was allergic to gluten a couple years back. And that was also an issue with my weight gain.
Gluten is in everything.
Yeah, it's in everything. So you got to be careful. Mm-hmm. So I kind of tweaked my eating habits based on me being allergic to gluten. I also started like listening to my body. So when I eat, when things don't settle well in the digestive system, it was like, meat seems a little heavy. So now I don't really eat a whole lot of red meat or even pork or chicken. I'm more a seafood girl because it's lighter and I don't feel so heavy and it digests a whole lot easier. So that's how I eat. Like if it's gluten-free, I'm going to eat it. If it's not gluten-free, I'm going to watch you eat it. But
hey, see, this is my issue. And I don't know if anyone else, like, I am into taste. Like my friend told me, she was like, see, that's your issue. She's like, she'll eat it because it's healthy. I'm not eating it if it's healthy and it's nasty. Like, and I just can't. And she's like, well, you're going to have to get out of it. No, I don't. Like, no, I need to eat something else. So in my mind, every time I hear gluten-free, I just think that it's automatically nasty.
Jay, it is. I'm not going to lie to you. It is. Listen, the first time when the doctor said, I think you have gluten issues, because I took in my food journal and I said, this is what I eat. Because I would literally, like, after dinner, my whole family, the boys all knew, Mom's going to go lay down and cry. Like, I would literally roll up in a fetal position and cry because my insides hurted. And Daryl would be like, what's wrong? Like, what hurts? And I'd be like, my insides hurt. I don't know where it's coming from, but my insides hurt. And so I went to the doctor, said, my insides hurt. And they were like, what? And I was like, when I eat, I literally 45 minutes after I eat, I'm crying and I'm in pain. And I say, here's my food journal. I eat a lot of healthy stuff. So I was eating salad, but I also love pasta. And I love like artisan type breads. You give me some artsy bread, crusty bread. Like on lunch, I would go to the store and get a loaf of French bread, put some butter on it and be like, yes, like that would be lunch. And she was like, I think you're allergic to gluten. And I was like, what is that? And she was like, well, you eat a lot of pasta. You eat a lot of bread. I was like, yeah. She was like, well, you can't have that. She was like, I'm going to do the test, but I want you to go gluten-free for 2 weeks and then tell me how you feel. And by that time, we'll have the results back and we'll figure out what's wrong with you. I left. I was like, I don't even know what is gluten. So I'm in the car pulling it up and I'm like, what the hell? I can't eat anything. Like I can't have bread. I can't have cereal ever again. No pasta. I was like, oh my God, it's in everything. And then like, I'm a sweets person. I was like, I can't have cake. Why would I go to somebody's wedding if I can't have no cake? Like I was all over the place. I was like, it's in gravy. It's in meat. Because if they're a grain-fed animal versus a corn-fed animal, can't have meat. I was in tears and I literally was like, I don't know what to eat. I hadn't done enough research. It just seemed so overwhelming to say I can't eat this stuff. And then it seemed like everything I bought that was gluten-free was nasty. It was horrible. Like I just ate salad and fish for like 2 weeks straight. Like, and it was like plain salad. Cause I was like, I don't even know like if vegetables got gluten. And Dee would be laughing at me. I'd be like, I don't know. I didn't read that far yet. So I'm just gonna have to say,
you could just literally type in, does broccoli have gluten? Like you could have just typed it in the, like in the.
Was it Nevy? They took my world away. She said no pasta, no bread. I was like, then what else is there?
But did you feel better?
So
you felt better?
Did you feel better?
I felt a whole lot better. At the end of 2 weeks, I had a good grasp on what gluten was and what I couldn't eat. And I had learned to do some shopping. I learned what not to buy and what was halfway decent. But then I started looking up recipes. Like, how do I play with like almond flour and coconut flour to maybe make breads? And then learn how to make my own breads. I learned that there are a variety of pasta products that are not made with gluten. Like I learned to love zucchini noodles or veggie noodles.
The zoodles.
Yeah, zoodles. I was like, these are options for me. But at the same time, I could cook that for my family.
Hell no.
Right.
I'm not eating
that shit. Like that. We
no.
We became accustomed to some things, and that zucchini fucking noodles is not one of them. No, I ain't doing it.
I don't do the zoodles. I stuff my zucchini. I stuff mine with meat and cheese and other vegetables. I stuff it in there, so I eat it like that. I don't do the zoodles because I'm like I need a little bit more than that. But yeah.
Yo, the only good thing that came out of, other than her feeling good and her health, that came out of that shit was all the weird ass bread she used to buy. Like, who the fuck eats pumpernickel bread? What the fuck is that?
Bread is good.
I'm like, why is this even in the house? Nobody eats this shit. Where did you get this from? And she come out her mouth like, oh, we grew up eating pumpernickel bread. Get the fuck out of here. You won't eat no pumpernickel bread on Ferry and Humboldt.
Yes, I was. In the hood.
But then her mama.
Eating cucumber sandwiches. Yes, I was.
Yeah. Okay, play with you. Because we didn't eat that over in New Orleans. Like, that wouldn't happen.
We ain't eat that in New York either. She was an anomaly. Her household was strange. Her mama weird. So... You talk to anybody else that grew up with us, we had completely different diets.
I didn't know there was no more than white and wheat. That's all I knew growing up. White bread,
That's
wheat
it.
bread. That was it.
That's it.
For us. We just was that why we making fun of her? She was just exposed to more things, which is what you're supposed to do with which is what you're supposed to do with your children. You know what I'm saying? My parents pull them. Anyway, moving on.
What you think, Jay?
I didn't eat pumpernickel bread. Was it pumpernickel?
Shit, me either. We ain't cleaning that up.
I didn't eat that either. I can't even say that.
No.
Is that the brown one? Is that the brown bread?
It's weird. It's speckled. It's got shit speckled in it.
No, it's like a molasses. It's a deep molasses-based bread.
How does it taste?
It's a real dark brown, and it's
nasty
kind of
as fuck.
It was good.
Well, I'm glad that yeah, you needed to let that one.
So no, we don't. I don't get to eat molasses molasses bread no
bread
more.
That caused her stomach to hurt.
Yeah,
that's it right there. That's
she wondering why she all fucked up
pumpernickel bread.
every night.
Pumpernickel got it.
Goddamn pumpernickel.
I can't stand y'all.
You can't even pronounce that shit right. Like, yeah, that shit gonna hurt you. What's wrong? What you thinking? Had you stuck your ass to eat wheat,
right,
you'd have been fine.
A little multigrain, you'd have been all right. You'd have been all right.
I can't stand y'all.
I was gonna say just stick with white bread. You know that's what you
there you go.
Right.
There you go. Because wheat bread was typically a little. Was it more expensive?
It was.
Yeah. So we didn't even have wheat.
Right.
We didn't even have wheat in my house.
I got bougie when I became an adult. And shoot, I got them honey wheat bread.
Right. Order potato bread. The potato bread. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Huh?
Potato bread?
Potato bread. It's so good.
Yes, potato bread was good. Y'all had it. I bought potato bread.
I never had
times.
no
Yes,
goddamn.
you did. And you didn't even know it was potato bread.
And I would make a grilled
cheese
cheese sandwich with the potato bread. It's just amazing.
Doing that.
Nah.
I mean, that's it. It's just extra starchy. That's literally it. It don't taste. It just tastes. It tastes like it's bread. You don't even know if I didn't say it was potato bread, you wouldn't know it was potato bread.
Yeah,
it's really good.
He wouldn't know. He don't look.
This is
not the rapper.
And Dee will probably appreciate it. Who's the first person that said, "Let me get this potato and make some bread out of it"?
Well, there was a smart motherfucker because that bread is amazing. It's amazing. All right. It's amazing. Slap some butter on it, grill it up. Now, I haven't had potato bread in years, but I'm just saying it's amazing.
Okay. I'm going to take your word for it.
Yes.
I will.
I'm not buying none.
It's way better than pumpernickel, I'll tell you that. It's way better than pumpernickel bread.
I guess I can do potatoes. I don't even know what the fuck a pumper or a nickel is. So if I had to choose, I'd probably choose potato.
Bread.
I know what a fucking potato is. I don't know no pumper or nickel. No thanks.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
I'm in tears. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Before we started,
crying over there.
Before we started, we were showing like our water bottles. Mm-hmm. So like, what's your daily routine look like, ladies? What do you do that's a must do every day?
As far as what? Just in general?
Just in general, to keep motivated. Oh. What do you do to stay on track with your weight loss regimen? Like, what do you do?
You go first. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, you better go first because you saw what happened the first time you tried to follow Navy.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit.
So I don't really have like a specific routine. But my biggest thing is I gotta say my accountability partners, because we have a group. And so every morning it's a good morning and somebody might post, oh, I did this morning, I did that. So it's like, okay, I can't be the slacker. I drink water. I'm really big on drinking water, but I slack off, especially during the quarantine, because you're in the house. It's cool, and we equate water to when you're hot or whatever. So it's like, I have to remind myself, okay, let me drink some water. I got my cute little water bottle. Walmart, love it.
Yes.
But water is very important, especially, I don't know. Water makes my skin. Y'all see all this? This is like
it be popping. People don't understand how much water.
Like, what do you do? And I'm like,
I drink water. I drink some goddamn water. That's what I do.
That's what I do. Right. And so because I've learned that, your body got to flush the fat out. So water is what helps it. So that's in the back of my mind, because I really just don't want to be fat. Like, I don't want to be, I want to be able to feel confident enough that I can wear whatever I want and not worry about when someone's taking a picture, let me suck in or get me on my good side. That is so stressful, especially being an author, because when you go to these events, it's like, let me see that before you post it, because all it takes is for you to turn too much on this side.
And you be looking crazy. You be looking crazy. And they always get them damn pictures when you're looking stupid. I'm like, damn, y'all.
Right. Like, nobody could edit this. Like, nobody thought about it. But that's honestly my motivation, because it's like, I want to get to the point where, and as women, we're the worst. I think I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. We're the worst. We're never happy. Like, I was talking to my friend, and she was complaining about her size, and she's like 130 pounds. And I'm like, are you serious right now? I just wanted to smack her. But it shows that she's like, but I got this pudge. And I'm like, okay, I got double that pudge. Are we really having this conversation right now? But women were really never happy. So I just want to get to a comfortable position. And that's looking well, but also the health aspect of it. I'm getting older. It gets harder. My metabolism is slowing down. I have a 1-year-old. I need to be around, and he's busy. I got to be in shape. That's why I got to make sure I run, because this little dripper takes off. I'm like, oh my God. And he wakes up and he spins out the bed and he takes off running. Like, and I'm not exaggerating. He runs everywhere. So, I have to. I'm like, okay, all right. Let me get
wearing your
work.
Ass out.
Listen, when it be bedtime, I'm like, all right, come on, both of us about to lay down. It be 8 o'clock. Let's lay down.
Time to go to bed.
Come on, let's cuddle. I mean, I'm put myself to sleep, put him to sleep. But so, see, I get off track. I'm sorry. But anyway, so I don't really have a set regimen. The only thing that I do faithfully is go to the gym, because I've tried to work out at home during the quarantine. And I put a video on Facebook, I think 2 days ago, and everyone laughed, but it was, my baby was not letting me do my burpees. I was trying to work out, and he was right there. He was all under, and he was hopping. I'm like, oh, and that's my life. So I have to get up and go to the gym. I set my alarm for 4 every morning. Sometimes it takes me till the 5th time that I hit the snooze to get up, but I have to get up and go work out, because it's hard. So. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. That's what's up. Okay, for me, I like dancing. So I dance for like before I eat. So I don't eat anymore. Well, I take a medication where I can't eat till like an hour. So after I take it. So that actually gives me a good enough reason not to eat like as soon as I get out the bed because I be hungry. Okay. But I take my medicine and then I'll go and I'll dance for like between 30 and 45 minutes. Just dance. I have my workout 1 and workout 2 song playlist and I just dance. And you don't understand, like when you backing that ass up and you be like, damn, how long is this damn song? I thought this song, shit, you know what I'm saying? You be like, I thought this, you know, because in your mind, you feel like this is like a couple of minutes. Nah, you be like, damn. And you don't, I have a newfound respect for the script. Newfound respect. Because I'm like, y'all got to be in conditioned, okay, to be dancing all them songs the whole way through, no goddamn break. And you doing tricks and splits and all kinds of, I'm barely shaking in my living room. I said, this ain't gonna work. But I love doing it. So I make sure I do that. I like lifting weights. So for me, I do that. I like walking. I was jumping rope and I was doing a jump rope challenge. I like little challenges because I like pushing myself. So I wanted to go back to jump rope. But you're supposed to go from 50 jumps to 300. And then I wind up getting COVID-19. So I had to stop. And then I recovered from COVID-19. And then I went back to it. And then I fell in a parking lot. Don't pull me. And then I went back. Yeah, I fell on because, you know, people be dripping oil from their raggedy ass cars and shit. And I didn't see the oil. And I'm walking into the voter registrations office in the parking lot. And I get out the car. I go over this and they fall right on my ass in the dirt, in the mud, in the oil. But anyway, I digress. And I shook it off like I was fine. And then I wasn't fine. And so I haven't been able to jump. So I try to push myself. I like planking. So I do that.
I hate planks.
I actually like it. It's just, I would never know what I like until I try to do stuff. Mm-hmm. So I try little challenges, but mostly I dance, I drink my water, and I make sure I eat. Because for me, I have hypothyroidism, which is not an excuse to be fat, even though I know it makes it harder for me to lose the fat. Okay, because in my mind, a lot of people use that as an excuse. It's not. You can gain weight, and it does work against you, but you can still work with it. Okay, so I keep that real. All right, but I do have that condition, and so I have to eat. And I wanted to have weight loss surgery like almost 2 years ago, and before I never was full. I never had that full feeling ever. So I would eat until I was just like stuffed, like the food was like up here. So now I went from that to trying not to eat, which was the worst thing you could do because your body holds on to the fat. So my thing that I do every day is I make sure I eat, I make sure I drink water, I make sure I do my dances, and about 3 times a week I lift weights because I actually like lifting weights. And then I do different stuff. I like fun stuff. I get bored pretty easy. So I sprinkle my little challenges here and there and everywhere just to do something to push myself, do something different. But I'm not going to sit here and bullshit y'all. Some of this shit is every day, okay? Because it's not. Sometimes I forget, okay? I work. I got a lot of shit going on. And it is hard. It's hard. We human. We are human beings. Mm-hmm. And people will sit there and be acting like they're fucking perfect and they're not, okay? I work out every day and I eat right every day and you can do it too, bitch. Shut up. That is not real, okay? It's not real. It's just not. And I try to keep my stuff in perspective, but I still hold myself accountable. So I don't beat myself up, but I still be like, okay, you got to get your shit together. Let's do this, okay? So that's what I do to try to keep everything going. My goal weight, because I never answered that. My goal weight is my dream goal weight is 220, but my first goal weight is 250, and I'm at 306 right now. So,
all right,
yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Let's see. One, I only drink water. So that's an everyday thing. I don't really drink.
That is a big ass water, but I'm sorry, Ma.
Don't be hating on my water bottle, yo.
You see the way she had to turn that shit up? Look at this shit, y'all. All right, Navy. No. I love you, dear. That's a big ass water bottle.
It is, yo. But
I'd never be able to finish one of those.
It works for me, yo. It works for me.
That's all
that matters, right?
Right.
That's all that matters. Go ahead, Ma.
No, Nevi, I think I'm like you. I love weights. So what I learned going to the gym was that don't be scared of the weight room. And once I got in there, you can't get me out of there. I love doing weighted squats. I love the leg press. I'm in there, and I'm in there with the guys, and I'm just like, they like, yeah, shorty.
My hand weight.
No, you talk about hand weight. A weight is a weight, Nevie.
I understand. A weight is a weight. No, you talking about a squat. You lost me. Okay?
Don't let her lie to you.
Because the way my knees are set up,
it's not a weight.
That ain't about to happen.
Thank you.
My knees are. I laugh. I tell people this joke, but it's the truth. I wasted all my Goodyear knees when I was fat, like when I was younger. Now my knees is just. I ain't got no. I done lost weight, and now my knees gone. I say, shit. Now I can use my knees, Lord. Now I can't. You know what's going on? I was like, well, that's just the consequences of my actions. I just ain't got it. Don't ask me to do no squat. It ain't happening. It's just not. They crack and they hurt, and I just be like, Lord, I be so jealous of Megan Thee Stallion and all the people that be all on flow, and they be. I just be. I wish I could do it. My heart
on the flow.
Like they be barely on. They be like so low, bending down.
When she get low,
like they be so low, like they ass be kind of draping the floor, and they on they me like, how y'all do that shit? I can't even bend down to fuck that, no. Don't ask me to do no squat. Ain't about to happen. I don't care weighted or not weighted. No squat.
I like
my bad. Go ahead, continue. My bad. That ain't me.
I love bench pressing.
I
really got into weights, and I was just like, oh my goodness! Like I think I found my niche at the gym. Like I'm not a runner, but I will run because I like what I see. I like the results. Mm-hmm. But I love like weightlifting. That's my thing. Like I love the fact that if I go low to see how low I can go with the squat and then bounce back up. I love deadlifts. Anything that has to do with weights, I am so down for it. So I miss that. I miss like that Michigan. In Michigan, our gyms aren't open yet. They were supposed to open this week, but because of the high influx of cases again,
folks not listening, but
they're not wearing that mask. They don't know about 6 feet.
They better not mess up my trip up there though. I need to be going. Never mind. That's a whole nother conversation. My bad. Continue.
Don't come up here and get the COVID. Don't come up here and get Rona.
I don't need it again, Lord. I don't need it again.
Yeah. So I just I missed the gym, and that was something I knew I would never do at home. So the walk and running, like I've hit some milestones because for somebody who don't like to run, like I picked up my pace. So our mile walk run is under 18 minutes now, which is huge because I started out doing 30 minutes. And D would be like, that was the longest mile ever. He was like, no, him and my sons would be like, Mom, you run like it's slow motion. Like, he's like, them little legs be moving, but you don't be going nowhere.
Well, it was the funniest thing.
I was like, I don't like running.
It was so funny.
No, listen, true story. We lived out in the boonies, out in the country. And I said, I really want to learn how to run. So D was like, okay. And I said, but I'm going to give up. And he was like, no, you won't. So he tied a rope around me and he tied the rope around him. You don't remember this? And we went running. And so he would lead the way and I was running behind him. Right. And then I gave up. So he would keep running and it was a short rope. So he would jolt me and I would have to keep running. Until this car pulled up on the side of us and was like, are y'all okay? Because it looked like he was dragging me down the street because I didn't want to run. But
he's like, he must have wiped that from your memory or something.
You don't remember that?
What the fuck are you talking about?
You tied a rope around me, around my waist to your waist.
You making a nigga sound abusive.
No.
No. I would never do no shit like that.
It was the funniest thing because it worked. It kept me running.
Well, I guess
and now we don't even have to do that.
I might have to edit that story out because the authorities gonna come looking for me on some domestic shit. Nah, you making a nigga sound abusive. I'm not doing that. No, we ain't leaving that in there.
No. It was hilarious, ladies. Because the man in the car was like, "Are you okay, ma'am?" I was like, "Yes." He's helping me run.
You be dreaming shit and thinking it's real.
No, that was a true story.
That don't sound nothing like me, man. Nah, hell no. Because I don't want to run. Nah, hell no. I know she lying.
No.
Because I ain't no
Just
running.
like I ain't lying about him almost flopping on the bed trying to get them jeans to button.
Man, fuck y'all.
So, ladies, what has been the most challenging
Why ain't you ask me about my routine?
Oh, what's your routine? Because I don't think you got...
He said he don't do nothing. He said he lazy. He said he don't do nothing. Remember,
the baby be kicking.
He said he be eating. That's his routine.
The baby be kicking. I've been eating a lot though. That's my routine.
What I will say is he's been very supportive on the walk runs. Like when I brought the challenge up to him, because normally we would walk 100 miles during the summer. Last month we walked 92 miles.
Okay, that's what's up.
Ran 92 miles. Yeah,
that sounds scary. It sounds like I need to slow down.
That's why I didn't tell him. That's why I didn't tell him the number.
That sounds like a lot.
It was.
I don't want to do that.
But I got into them shorts.
Hey.
Yeah.
I know, right?
They look good too. Shit, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even gonna lie.
So what has been the most challenging part of your journey so far?
I need to go first because I don't like going after.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. My bad. I don't mean what I'm doing. What did I do? I don't know what I did.
Your shit be too deep, Nevy.
Oh, yeah.
Your shit be deep, man. You got real shit.
Right. I'm over here trying to get in jeans and look cute, and you talk about like.
But you can't come. But
you trying to survive. Shit.
But you can't compare though. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own set of challenges. It's all right.
You right. You just be making me feel so inadequate when I come out.
Oh no, you good though. You complete and you are enough, sister. You are enough. You are complete all on your own, okay?
Thank you, but I definitely go on before you.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
So my challenges, mainly my biggest challenge is myself, my mental. Because my mental and the scale, I had to tell myself to stay away from the scale. Because I will go hard, going to the gym every day, eating right, depriving myself, and then I'll get on the scale and either I don't lose any weight or I gain weight. And so I was just talking to my friend today, and I don't know if it's true, but this is what I'm telling myself. Since I'm working out and doing all this extra, I'm hoping that I'm building muscle, and that's why I'm going the other way on the scale. But it's so discouraging, and so I feel defeated, and I'm like, no, I can't get into it because I am the stress eater. When I start getting stressed out, I'll sit there and I'm snacking, and I love cakes and cookies. And so that is my biggest challenge, just getting out of my own way. I do it a lot. I'm an overthinker, just on everything. I'm an overthinker. So that, along with the scale not moving as quickly as I want it to, it stresses me out. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to eat. Now I'm getting bigger. Now I'm stressed out more. Now I got to work out. And so I'm really battling myself a lot of times. But, like I said, it just starts in the mind. Just the same way with the working out, I had to get in my mind that I want to do it. So I told myself I'm staying away from the scale. I don't care as long as, because you can tell as females, we know our bodies. You know when your pants fit differently. So yeah, the scale is moving, but I'm like, okay, my pudge ain't hanging over anymore. So I'm like, okay, it might just be the muscle because I am doing a lot of weights now. I'm doing a lot of running. And yeah, so that would be the biggest challenge. And I know a lot of females who go through that where we just our biggest critics. We're the worst. We be done came up with a whole story, and I'm sure you do it, and your husband be like, what are you talking about? We done came up with a whole scenario in our head that's not even true. So that's my biggest challenge, me.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we pay for that shit. Like Yeah, like
right.
Why fuck you? What happened?
Right.
But she does that a lot. But there's something I'm gonna let everybody else go. But I got a question for ladies.
Okay.
So,
Neva, you go. What's been your biggest challenge so far?
I will agree with Jay. Like, myself. Like nobody can stop you but yourself. Nobody can stop you, and sometimes not even self. But for me, it's myself and getting my anxiety under control. And what I used to do was I used to eat everything. Like, and now that my stomach is small and I can't eat, because my mind said, eat that cupcake, eat them donuts, eat that fried chicken, eat all that because it tastes so good. It's going to make you feel so much better. But I don't have room to put it there, so I can't really eat it. And so it makes me face the shit I got to deal with. And so the biggest thing is still trying to avoid the shit I got to deal with that's causing my anxiety in the first place. So myself is my biggest challenge. It's not the food, it's not the working out, it's the issues that I either haven't faced yet or the issues I have to face or I'm working on. And I'm kind of like, I don't want to deal with this shit today. I'd rather eat this fucking donut. You know what I'm saying? I rather eat these grits and eggs and bacon and biscuits and not
that sounds good.
It do.
Hell,
and it tastes even better. It tastes even better instead of drinking that fucking smoothie with the protein in it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just because that don't make me feel better. You know what I'm saying? It makes me it doesn't comfort the void that I'm trying to fill. So for me, it's myself and dealing with my issues. That's my biggest challenge. I deal with them, but it's hard some days, which is anybody have that issue. But so myself. So that's my biggest thing.
I think we're all the same because I'm going to say myself too. I struggle with the word no to myself and I'm quick to give up. I've realized that I can't be so quick to give up on myself. Like I deserve to win for me. And I go back to just wanting the 3-month gym membership. Like I look at myself now and be like, what is wrong with you? Because it literally has been 3 years now that I've been faithfully at the gym. And I'm going, you didn't really need 3 months. You were shortchanging yourself. So I'm learning that I'm worth it. I'm worth this journey. I'm worth the hard work. I'm worth whatever my confidence says that level needs to be. Just not shortchanging myself. And I think a lot of it is mental because I give 100% to everything else. And I need to be able to say it's okay to do that for myself. So, and I'm an emotional eater too. And I love food and I love to cook. So when I'm cooking, it's okay for me not to taste it. It's okay for me to pass on certain things. Like I'm learning that my journey is worth saying no to myself sometimes so that I can get to the end result.
I want to touch on something that you said that I battle with when you were like when you are so good at so many other things and you kind of, I'm hard on myself because I'm like, okay, dag, I write books, I do this, I do that, but you can't do a push-up. But it's something about working out that instead of pushing it to the next level like you would do in anything else, it's like, you know what? I'm not even going to do that. I think it's that fear that rises up, and it's like, okay. And then I know one thing that I had to get over the myths, I never wanted to lift weights because you're like, I don't want to be like those bodybuilders. Not realizing that they're really taking extra things because females, we're not going to just bulk that. Right. But I battled with that too for a long time. It's like, nah, I don't want to do this. And even like that picture you were talking about.
I don't know.
Right. Like that picture you were talking about, my friend took it. And when I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, my legs are huge. She was like, girl, that's muscle. She was like, you don't see it. And I'm like, and I was even like, oh my God. And she was like, you better not, and I'm so hard on myself, but it's like, I'm like, dag, I succeed at everything else, but I can't succeed at this. And so it's like, drives me crazy. Because I'm a control freak.
Right. Yeah, so am I. I feel the same way.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
So what was your question, D?
So how much does society play, society and culturally, does that play mentally for you guys and how you perceive and feel about yourself? Does that factor in, of what your goals are weight wise? Does that make sense?
Yes.
That question?
I want to chime in. I'm really big on that. I see all these girls on Instagram and Facebook with these little itty bitty waists and these big butts. And we know that some of them have enhancements. We get it. But even though I know that, I'm like, why can't my body look like that? And it's big because it's in your face. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, Dad, I want to wear a shirt that I can tuck in. You know what I'm saying? And feel, and actually, I mean, I know I can do it now, but I want to look like how these girls do it. And it's unrealistic. But we know this, but so what? And women, we a little crazy. We feel like, I can do it. I'm trying to look like that too. So I do
That's
think
a fact
society
on the crazy.
Everything I said, that's the only thing that
no
you
such
agree with.
thing.
Like
no such thing.
That's the only thing you agree with. But yeah, I think society plays a big role in it because it's in your face. It's in your face constantly.
It is.
I agree.
Nevy,
I agree.
Same thing for you, Nevy.
Yeah, I agree with Jay. Like, for me, I'll look at them like, for me, especially in the BBW world, like the big, beautiful women, the plus size, whatever. The thing now is that you could be big, but you still have to have like the flatter stomach or a smaller, like you have to have the curves or like a deep hip kind of thing going on. And I was like, well, what about the chicks who got like, who's kind of square? You know what I'm talking about? Who ain't got all that? You know what I'm saying? What about us? You know what I'm talking about? And so I was just like, I had to break it down to the fact that, do I want to look like that because I want to look like that? Or do I want to look like that because I want the attention that person is getting for looking like that? And then I had to look at it like that. And then I was like, okay, then why am I attention seeking? What am I missing? What am I lacking? And then I was just like, you know what? I don't feel good enough because of these reasons. And let me work on that. And so when I got to the point where I just was like, I'm not going to compare myself to nobody else. I'm just going to be where I'm going to be. And that's where I'm going to be at. That's why I had to start thinking about. That's why I had to start thinking
fucking deep. I know that, yo, Jay, do right. You go before her ass, cause no, but that's real deep.
That's
so
real.
What can, because I know a lot of, when I say society, it's driven by men. So what can we do as men to kind of change that so you guys don't feel so much pressure to look a certain way? You know what I'm saying? Is there anything we can do for that?
Okay.
Let me give you an example, I guess. Let me bring it down to a micro level.
Okay.
So we're in a relationship. AA and I have been married it'll be 21 years. And like she said, I've never mentioned weight to her ever. Mm-hmm. And today is the first time I found out how much she actually weighed during any of that time. And even now.
Okay.
Wow. But so we're in that relationship and she knows that I love her and how I feel about her. What is the pressure at that point? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Is it just because everybody in general looks at a certain way? I guess I'm just trying to understand you guys a little better.
We give a number. that's outside of the norm. So in my mind, men equate fitness and fineness with anything weighing less than 140 pounds.
That's
I don't know. No, wait a minute. No, think about it, because
that's light.
No, it might be light, but listen to these measurements. She's a brick house. 30,
but did they ever mention?
No,
but they didn't mention her weight.
They never mentioned weight, but the dimensions. To get those dimensions, to get a waist that's that size, you're gonna hold up. What was her waist size?
24.
24.
Yeah,
36. 24. 36.
Listen to them dimensions.
Right.
That's not somebody necessarily over 140 pounds. Because a 24-inch waist, what size jeans is that?
I mean, you got to keep in perspective, though, AA.
No, but what I'm saying,
I mean, I get
but listen to that. You give yourself a weight, a number. A man automatically equates that with, that might be too much. I've seen it on social media. I see it everywhere. I live with men. Like, I hear the conversations. You give a woman
conversation
weight,
you listen to in this house.
Then they automatically equate it
Let's clear that up.
No, not you, but we got sons. They got friends. You have friends. What I'm saying is the minute a woman mentions her weight, we are automatically judged. So we just can't be size confidence, size sassy, size, beautiful. We always have to have a number. And I think once men stop giving us these numbers, like I said, the Commodore spoke about the brick house. Listen, I know a brick house who's 240 pounds, and she is as curvy as ever, solid, and that bitch is bad. But I also know a bad bitch who can be 150.
Right.
What I'm saying is the minute you give us a number, somehow in the way I see it, the logic goes in, she's a little too heavy for me. No, just a few minutes ago, she was a bad bitch before you knew her weight. And I think we need to stop trying to fit us into this mold. All of us don't have big titties. All of us don't have ass. All of us don't have a flat stomach, but all of us have a sense of self, hopefully self-worth, and we're beautiful in other ways. And I feel like if men really wanted to see us be a bad brick house type bitch, then get out there and exercise with us. Don't say something about the number. Do something about the number. You really want to motivate me? Help me motivate myself. Say, hey, babe, why don't we go for a walk? Why don't I go to the gym with you? Why don't I do this thing, try this salad with you? Like, join me on that journey. Not talking about you, D. Join me on that journey so that we can get the results that you want. Because to be honest, like I said, I never liked the number. As long as I felt confident, I was good. And I think today I got on a bodycon dress. I was hesitant to put it on. I was like, I don't want to do it. He gave me the best compliment. And that's not how I saw myself in the dress. He over there
like, she.
Listen, the squats work, ladies.
Hey.
It ain't the style, you're not lying. I do
that
the squats.
Motherfucker, boy.
He said my ass was popping. I never think my ass was popping.
It is the day.
The waist is snatched. The ass
Did you go online and order more of those dresses? Did you go online and order more of those dresses today?
No, because I still got some with tags on it that I wore from last year that couldn't fit in. So now I'm gonna go try them on.
Can I reply to what you just said?
Go ahead.
I know that how I look at things is how we see ourselves and how other people see us, two different visions.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of times we put our expectations and our fears and stuff, we project them on other people.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, I'm feeling inadequate about whatever the case may be. Let's just say my breasts or whatever. I'm feeling inadequate about that. So I don't want them to say anything because it makes me feel bad. I had to, for me, and this is not no judgment, okay, for nobody. But for me, I had to get myself up out of that foolishness. Because I was like, when I want somebody, I want them to be honest with me.
Right.
And I want to be like, listen, this is what's going on. Because I want my friends to be honest with me. And I'm not married. Okay, I'm not in a relationship. I am dating quite a few people, but that's neither there. But I'm not in a relationship. I'm not.
Wait a minute, that's a whole nother show.
You just can't skip over that. No, we're just not going to do that.
I'll come back and we'll talk about that. But I was like, I want someone who's going to be there and be like, listen, let's face this together. I mean, just in life, like you cannot address any issue until you face it, regardless of what it is. So for me to want somebody to not tell me stuff, for me, it just was not, it's not going to work for me. You know what I'm saying? There's always a way to tell folk. Like you can't say, bitch, you getting so goddamn fat. No. You know what I'm saying? No, you can't be like that. But you can be like, look, babe, your goal is, especially if he's like, he knows my goal my first goal is 250. And I'm like, I'm moving up and not going down. He can be like, look, babe, your goal is 250. Remember, this is where you at now. You at 310. Let's get it back going that way. I wouldn't mind that. You know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't mind that. I think that what we do is we just don't want to deal with it and we don't want to face it because it hurts and it sucks.
Right.
And it doesn't feel good. Mm-hmm. It does not feel good, but we have to. Like we got to deal with that. Like we have to deal with that. So I don't necessarily think it's the men giving us a number. It's ourselves doing it to us. You know what I'm saying? Like it's us doing it to us. And I mean, in perspective for the Commodores, I mean, that was with the 70s. Like people were just typically smaller then. You know what I'm talking about? They had less preservatives. I'm just saying, they had less preservatives. People walked more. People had more active jobs. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like get with the time. That's not.
I love her. I love her, man.
Because that's the first song. Like,
I mean, I get what you're saying.
Every man know the measurements.
I can see you. I mean, I see you over there. I understand. I just don't agree. But I understand. I see where you were going with it. But I'm just like, it's 2020. We gotta leave that analogy back in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Because we just not. But you did prove your point. You did prove your point with that. Yeah. It's just that I don't think it's men giving us that number though. I just don't want to put the blame on them. I believe it's us that's doing that to ourselves.
So, and I'm gonna agree with you because he just told you I never discussed my weight with him.
Exactly.
It has never ever come up. One, because I didn't want to face that number. Two,
and he loved you so much that he didn't want you to hurt, yo. That's Jesus Christ. I felt that through the phone just now. You know what I'm saying? I felt it. Just saying.
So I'm agreeing with you. It's me. It's women like me. We're scared of that number because once we know it, we got to own it. There's some accountability to that number.
Nobody wants to see that.
What you going to do now that you know?
Exactly.
Are you worth it or are you going to continue down this road?
Exactly.
And that was the aha moment when that nurse did her job. I was like, oh, now you got to own it. And now what you going to do?
And look what you've accomplished so much. You've come so far, yo. Like you've accomplished so much from that. So it worked out.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think, I didn't mention it because it wasn't an issue for me. Like it just wasn't an issue. Now, if you had stopped cooking or some shit, that's an issue for me. Like that would have been an issue. Just y'all laughing and shit, but cooking was a prerequisite for whoever I was going to end up with. Like she had to know how to cook because I like to eat and shit. At that time, I was broke as fuck. Shit, we can't go out and eat every night.
Right?
You better get in that kitchen. No, so it was just my love for you was not contingent on your size. You know what I mean? It just didn't. So that's why I didn't mention it. It wasn't a factor in the way I felt or the way I viewed you. Like I knew you already, but then we fell in love and I got to really know you. So the outside was okay. That's when she's ready. she'll do whatever she wants to do so she feel good about her. Because it was never about me feeling good about you. In my mind, it's always been you and how you felt about you. Like, for instance, when she first started doing like hardcore all the time, like she got real serious about working out and she wasn't seeing results fast enough and she was really getting bummed out and frustrated. I said, okay, do this for me. Here's a pen, some paper. How do you see yourself? You draw yourself. And the picture that she drew was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. Like, I got it right. Now, I'm expecting, something that's halfway accurate, right? I got the piece of paper and I looked at her and I was like, are you fucking serious? I'm not playing. Like, I was serious. Like, I really want to know how you see it.
Tell them what I drew.
She drew this big old circle, these big old, like, limbs coming out of it in this little small ass head. I said, you got everything wrong. Even the head. The head should have been the biggest thing. Like, what is this? Yeah, see, it go both ways, don't it? Ha ha. No, and that's when I really started. I think in my mind, that's when I really realized that, okay, you have to help her with this and really encourage her because she really felt that way about herself. Like, I know we laughing about it now. But she was serious and I could not believe she was serious. And I'm like, oh my God, no, you don't look anything like this. Just let's stop this. I need to do better about you feeling better about yourself. I need to do more to encourage that. And so now I get out there and run and
and it's crazy.
You even go to the gym and exercise sometimes.
Oh, look at there.
Yeah, but that 4:00 in the morning, that's a tough one for me. I ain't gonna lie. I did that shit like a few days in a row. I think I did it like 1 week straight. And shit, I thought I was gonna die. I slept all weekend. I ain't do shit.
I want to add in on that, how we see ourselves. Okay, I know I do it. Any of y'all just sit there in the mirror and you hold your stomach like, only if I could just cut all this off. Just holding it. Right.
Baby, let me tell you.
Wait,
I got another story. Oh my God. Yes, she does.
Right.
But I don't do that. I'll tell it. So what I do.
Why you get to tell your story?
Because this is hilarious. Because when I sit, I always can tell like how much weight I'm losing when I sit on the toilet and how much of the fat come together in the middle and touch each other. And I'll be like, oh, wait a second. I'm missing some right here. And I called him in and I was like, babe, look. And he was like, not the sitting on the toilet fat between the leg. I was like, look, it's big right here. Look at this. It's gone.
Nah.
So I don't sit in the mirror and go like I could need to lose this right here. I sit on the toilet and be like, oh, that inner leg fat is gone. Like, it's moved. Like, where'd it go? And he'd be like, I can't believe that you just called me in here to show me the inner thigh fat. I was like, it's going. Where'd it go? Like, it's missing. I'm missing a whole part right here.
That's crazy. Like for me, I do it all the time. And like one of my guy friends, I had him rolling laughing. I was like, you want to see my stomach fat? He was like, what? I said, you want to see my stomach fat? He was like, okay. Like, because I'm crazy. I'm just gonna let y'all know. So anyway, so I put the phone down and I let him see. And because I have loose skin and a lot of loose fat because of the weight loss surgery too. So like I can take my fat where it was like a big round solid big stomach, and I can take my fat and squish it in. It don't hurt. I can squish it and I can turn it, and I play with it. And I took my stomach fat and I literally plopped it down on the sink, in the bathroom sink, and went plop. And he was like, "Your ass is crazy." I was like, "Yeah, I know, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I know, right?" I don't know. I don't know. I'm silly. I really am. So for me, it's like, I'd be like, I wish I could just cut it off. I know, but I've come to love it. Like, it's going away. It used to be bigger than what it was. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. You know, will I get surgery to finish moving it, get it off? Probably won't. It don't bother me. I just move it out the way when it's come to do stuff. And the more weight I lose, just saying, the more weight I lose, you know. I just move it out the way. I love you, Nevy. I mean, the fat ain't never stopped nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's just, I just move it, and now it's just less to move out the way, and that's just how I look at it. You know, and it's so soft and doughy, you can just play with it. I play with it.
You see, he could just hold on and be like,
"Yeah,
girl."
That's what I'm saying. Go for a ride, a nice soft, chocolatey ride. You know what I'm talking about? Like, just,
you're awesome.
Baby, you crazy as hell,
you're
girl.
Awesome, and I love.
Oh my God, I love you. I love you.
I do. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So, see, I hate when you tell stories about you because
she left out the good parts.
No,
she did.
No, I didn't.
I like good parts. I'm nosy.
Nah,
I like
the first time. I gotta put this in.
Go ahead.
So she was half right, but I didn't know this is what she did. I didn't know this was a thing. Like, who's ever heard of that shit? Not me. She's in the bathroom. She starts yelling my name like, "You gotta come here. Dang, come on, come here." So I'm thinking something's wrong. I bust up in the motherfucker. You know, I do. I bust up in the motherfucker. And she says, "Look." And she pointing at us, "Look." I'm like, "Yeah, I done seen this shit before. What am I looking at? Like, look, the fat gone." I'm like, "What is she talking about?" I'm like, what are you talking about? So now I'm kind of getting irritated. And she says, "This is how I measure myself." I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" Who taught you that? That's never been a thing. Yeah, I do it all the time. I've been doing it for years. I'm like, what?
Whatever works.
Hey, she did it.
I knew I was down the jean size.
I walked out the bathroom, man. Like, don't ever fucking call my name again. Don't say shit to me.
She learned that when she was eating that pumpernickel bread.
Exactly. See,
they're not gonna ever let you live that down. Never. I tried to save you with the potato bread.
I told you,
ladies. So we can close out because I feel like we could talk about this all night long. But like, what encouragement would you give to someone else who is on a weight loss journey, trying to make this, go at it? What encouragement would you give to them right now?
Okay, I'm gonna go first.
Smart.
Okay.
Because Miss Ocean over here.
She about to start bring out a spoken word poem that she just now. But my biggest thing would be, don't give up. Do something. And don't compare yourself. And when I say that, do something. Just because if you have to walk half a mile, walk half a mile. Do it every day. You have to be consistent. Don't try to do 5 miles like the next person. Everyone is different. And people don't realize walking in itself is big. because it's the same thing as it's the same motion as running. People are like, oh, I can't run. I'm not going to lose weight. Walk. It's actually better because it's low impact and you're doing the same motions. Just do something. Be consistent. You know, like she said, dance. You don't even realize how much calories. My best friend has become my Fitbit. I'll be sitting there working out and I'm like, oh, that's how many calories I burnt just doing whatever. But just be consistent and do something and don't compare yourself to anyone else.
Right.
I agree with Jake. Like, don't compare yourself. You are your own person. You got your own journey. People could be going in the same direction, but the path, your life is yours. So when you compare yourself to somebody else, you just get down every time because you're not them. I also would say something that my physical therapist taught me. He told me, and you could apply it to anything, is that the more you move, the less you're gonna hurt. The less you move, the more you're gonna hurt. Mm-hmm. And you can apply that to anything in your life. Anything. You have any type of issue, any type of struggle, the more you're gonna hurt if you get stuck in it and you don't move, and you're gonna keep hurting. You just got to get through it. Everybody have their own set of issues and problems, and you'll be able to. I mean, everybody. No one is above a problem or an issue, and so that's what I would tell people. Like, just don't compare yourself. Like, just don't focus on yourself, and it's okay to say no, and it's okay to not pick up everybody's shit. Do with your own shit first. You know what I'm saying? Like, deal with your own stuff first. It's all right. It's okay. So that'll be my my advice to people. So.
Life lessons from Navy, y'all.
I mean, y'all. Did I mention I was a social worker? Did I mention I was a social worker? Did I tell y'all that? I'm a registered social worker in the state of Louisiana. So yes, I was.
Okay.
All makes sense.
Okay. There we go.
I would say that you're worth it. Like, if nobody else has your back, you need to have your back. You need to be that one person that believes in you. And even when you say you can't, or even when you say no, because that's the word I focus on. You usually say, no, I can't. It's the no part. For me, no means not now. It literally does. It doesn't mean that I won't ever. It just means maybe not now. Am I ready for whatever that is? But you got to make take steps to get to the yes, so that no, that not now becomes a yes, or even a maybe to a yes. But it's not I can't. I think I can't is just the excuse. It's how you lead that excuse is no, I can't. Right. And you got to take that no and be not now. And I say that because in running, you got to walk first. Just like a baby, you got to learn how to crawl, you got to learn how to walk, then you can run. With exercising, it's the same logic. You're not going to walk into a gym and, deadlift 250 pounds. You got to start out with the bar or the hex bar. You got to start out learning how to do it right so that you don't injure yourself. So it's baby steps, but you're worth it.
Hell no, I ain't walking in there deadlifting doing that shit 10 years from now.
So when I have a body by Jake and I'm 50 and he's like that old man with bad knees, y'all remember he said no. Just remember he said no, I'm not doing it. But hey,
I'm already an old man with bad knees.
And I'm 2 years away from 50, so I'm getting it in right now. Awesome. So, we got to thank our guests.
What about my encouragement?
Oh, go ahead. What's your encouragement?
Why you always leaving me out of shit? Like, I noticed that. Like, I be feeling some kind of way about that shit, too. Stop leaving me out of shit.
Go ahead, D. Tell us about how you going to gain weight.
I ain't talking about how I'm going to gain weight.
What's your encouragement?
Encouraging everybody else.
Go ahead.
From what I've seen and what I've heard from you beautiful ladies.
Go ahead.
Just start somewhere. If you want to do it, you got to start somewhere. It's like anything else. The hardest part is just to start. You can't steal second base and keep your foot on first. At some point, you got to move and you got to just start. And for me, because I'll procrastinate and stuff, and it's just, like in life, if you don't start something, it'll never get done. You won't finish. So I can guarantee you nothing's going to happen if you do nothing. But as well, don't feel like you have to, jump over a mountain either. The little stuff matters. The little stuff builds up, and you just got to keep being consistent with that. Eventually you'll do the things that you want to do, whatever your goal is. If your goal is to run 10 miles, start out walking, even if it's a half mile, it'll turn into a mile, then it turns into a mile and a half. So you just got to keep building on wherever you started. But if you don't start, nothing will ever happen, and you'll continue to feel the same way that you do. So I do applaud you, ladies, for sure, because I guess I won't say I can't, but you ladies are doing it, and you're all beautiful. So I hope that this episode serves its purpose and encourages all the beautiful queens out there to love themselves and to just get motivated to feel better about themselves, regardless of how other people, or a lot of times I think it's perception. Like, we perceive other people look at us a certain way.
Right.
And so that's why it's so important to feel good about yourself, because that way it doesn't really matter how other people, or you perceive other people look at you. You feel great about yourself. So I get that from all of you. So thank you very much. I was educated tonight, by the way. So they shooting over your ass. You better get in the house, nigga.
That ain't
I'm wrapping this shit up. It's getting dangerous out there.
That's not me.
It's firecrackers. That's all it's looking like. What's the firecrackers?
You're an idiot.
Well, it is almost the 4th of July, so I guess.
But it was funny because I was peeking. I was like, ugh.
And I was like, well, she military. She know what that sounds like.
She about to go grab the cat. All right, y'all. But so thank you so much, ladies, for joining us tonight. You guys were fantastic. Awesome. I would love to have you ladies back for some other topics as well, for sure.
I'm for it.
Me too.
Yes.
That's what's up.
Yeah. You're definitely part of the family now.
Yeah, both of y'all.
And just so that all our listeners and watchers know, as usual, I'll post all of their information, their bios, where you can stay in contact with Nivi and Jay, support their communities, and what's going on in their world. So they'll all be on our webpage at theurbangreenroom.net and connect with them that way. Ladies, I enjoyed the conversation.
Yes.
I am so happy that you agreed to join me for this. So thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me. You really made my day. I was like,
yes.
The Urban Green Room.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning into the Urban Green Room podcast. Let's keep the conversation going. Hit us up at urbangreenroom.net or on our Facebook or IG page.
I always follow them.
Tell us what you think about today's conversation. If there's a topic you want to discuss, let us know. And by all means, tell a friend. The Urban Green Room podcast, giving you something to talk about. Until next time, we out.